Vegetation treatment for soil and water conservation in the arid West. The concept sounds good. I mean, who wouldn't want to conserve water and create habitat for Bambi and thumper and songbirds, sage grouse, and livestock? Well, apparently the environmental group SUWA, because if you look at the commercials they're running, it looks like the big, mean, bad bullies with the BLM are killing innocent little trees, and they'd have you believe that we're fighting against Mother Nature. But if you take away the emotional image of trees being ruthlessly torn from the ground and just look at the facts, it might paint a different picture. So let's consider these 4 important concepts about vegetation treatment and why we do it in the basics. The first concept is encroachment. Pinyon juniper trees are invasive in nature. Given the chance to overtake other plants, they will. And they have, as you can see in these historical photos. One taken 80 years ago, the other a couple of years ago. This happens because the root structure of the PJ spreads out as wide as it is tall and robs other plants from getting the water they need. PJ crowns start to restrict sunlight in the understory and competing plants start to die off. To finish the competition off, their needles are quite toxic and eventually poison the soil under the tree. Unchecked, they will eventually overtake most arid landscapes and eliminate plant diversity. Which leads us to forage, the second argument for reversing encroachment. Think about all the critters who live in the arid wild lands. Bugs, snakes, mice, rabbits, songbirds, raptors, deer, elk, horse, sage grouse, and depending on the time of year, livestock who are rotating through the area depending upon the condition of the grasses. Not one of those species can use juniper as a food source. Why do you think they make such good fence posts? If you don't hold the line on pinyon juniper, animal and plant life will go away by either starvation or migration. Another thing to consider is the amount of water they take out of the ecosystem. A study being conducted in Central Oregon currently estimates that a 12-foot high pinyon consumes about 25 gallons of water each month. Times that by 100 trees per acre, and that's 2,500 gallons per month per acre. It's going to really add up. Several post-treatment areas reveal the reintroduction of springs, which would support that fact. Wildfire mitigation also has to be considered in isolating the pinyon stands. Fires can move vertically and horizontally. When they do both at once, they're devastating, sometimes literally cooking the earth to the point that it takes decades to rehabilitate. Fires also put tons of burnt carbon into the air and destroy wildlife, so mitigating the fuel load becomes critical to a healthy ecosystem. Finally, think about the view shed. If you're driving down a dirt road with 20-foot high trees on either side of you, you can't see anything but a green tunnel. Thin out the trees back to the slopes of the hills, and now you're talking about a monumental quality landscape. Mother Nature is a brutal land manager. Oh, she gets the job done, but usually on a large scale, at costs far worse than mankind incurs in his management. Think about it. Before man, thousands of species went extinct without us. Whole landscapes changed, entire continents wiped out. If we know Mother Nature's tricks, with a little effort, we can keep land at its prime and best her at her own game. For the county seat, I'm Joe Davis.